I know I should have recorded a video, but it's so difficult to find interesting games. All that's left on Itch.io are demos of games that will probably never come out. I'll try again tomorrow. Nah. Let's see what the Grandmaster's up to. He's usually hanging around in the feed. There he is. How you doing, Grandmaster? I see you've rated a game 5 stars. Hope you don't mind if I take it. Ooh, he's even left a review down here. Full review on my website. You have a website? There it is. Hey, you have a website? Oh my. Oh, this is very real. Can I play all the games that you've written reviews about? Perhaps in the blog? Look at that. Oh my. Oh my. Hey. Just a bunch of awesome games you've been holding out on me? Okay. Well, if you're looking for a good place to play games, this guy's pretty good about recommending them. Even though he doesn't know he's recommending them to me. Content warning for self-loathing thoughts, suicide, and grief. Can't say they didn't warn you and I didn't warn you. A Twisted Place by Rana Strange? Hope I said that right. So how are you guys doing? I'm sure you guys are doing okay. Even if you're not okay, I hope it gets better. Right now we're going to be playing A Twisted Place, which is obviously a narrative horror game, so lots of reading. I have water and snacks, but they're for me, not for you. I walk toward a twisted place. Breathe. The chilly air tastes faintly of dead foliage. This place was condemned. The council deemed it a public health hazard 10 years ago. There's now only 3 ways into this place. The river, the bridge, the road. And we get to choose one. So if it was condemned, I doubt the road would be the way to go, right? And if there's a bridge, I'm pretty sure they would think about that too. So it has to be the river. There's a small stream running around the back. It's a popular dumping site. I waded through the shallows. My jeans are still damp. Approach. The air seems to grow warmer as I approach the main building, the Weston Firth building. Whenever I visited before, it always been empty, but voices can always be heard. But voices can always be seen on the walls. The factory. The factory was built over a century ago. This wasn't a mill town, but it was damn near close. Almost everyone who lived in Dober Flats worked in the factory, making textiles and engine parts. Closed, opened? What am I choosing here? Opened. It opened before my family moved here, but it had a notorious reputation for workplace accidents. Always blamed on a matter of individual responsibility, even as the bosses used soft pressure to encourage people to violate safety guidelines. Now, I know a place like this. It's called most factories. Enter. The air suddenly turns stagnant as I step inside the factory. A rusty metal fan slowly drifts in the wind above. The others, ... Oh, let me fix this. Wait. There we go. It's not like you guys are gonna read it, but maybe you're up and close and you read it too? I don't know. The others. Others have come before. They'd sneak out. One day or one night, They weren't ever sure what would happen when they got there, but they knew where they were going. My friend, my flatmate. My friend, dude, come on. One of my friends, Lemma, made the journey. Z never told me. We went out to the town's one queer-friendly nightclub 6 days ago. Z told me Z'd have to leave early, but promised me Z'd be fine. I never saw Zem since. We all knew where Z'd gone, though. I know that's like gender neutral and all that, but if they're your friends, wouldn't you know their pronouns? Am I wrong? Is Z a pronoun? I don't know enough about this stuff, but that's just what I was thinking. The rivulet, ... Educate me if you know, but I do not know. I follow along a narrow gutter clogged with rubbish. Toxicity. I always felt I was toxic. I lost my barista job due to a conflict with one of my coworkers that I was unable to resolve without coming off as passive-aggressive. I never meant to, of course, but maybe toxic people don't have a choice. What even is toxic? How do I know I'm toxic? I think it's when people leave you. I think that's probably the biggest indication of whether or not you're toxic, is if people start leaving your life, like they just exit. Between these two, though, I'm more interested in what this person defines as toxic. I never entirely understood what toxicity is, and how everyone means it. It's definitely related to badness, but it implies that it can spread. By interacting with toxic people, you could absorb the toxicity and become toxic yourself. I never learned how to become non-toxic, though. I am like asbestos. Come on, man. You don't have to do that to yourself. Asbestos is a naturally occurring toxic substance. They built a lot of the old buildings in this town with it, including this factory. Prolonged exposure to amosite fibers causes lacerations to the lungs, and over time, stops your body from being able to fight tumors. In the 80s, they tried to assure people that asbestos cement had somehow reformed those toxic fibers and that it was thus safe. This was untrue. I enter the main hall of the warehouse, a massive space decorated with art and words and stories. Productivity. I always struggled to be productive when your average libshit politician used the word. I didn't care, but hearing it from other leftists hurt on a deep level. I'm confused with where you stand on anything. I don't see what politics has to do with productivity in any way. Let's see, work or creativity? We work in this household, okay? Ever since losing my barista job, I've struggled to find work. Shit, I should have gone with creative. It was just luck that got me the job in the first place. I've been shuffled through different employment agencies since, but only via obligation. The agencies were even more unenthused than I was. I can understand why, if this is taking place in like modern times, because I think there was a law that passed that says that agencies aren't allowed to take your money per paycheck anymore. That's not how they operate anymore. I think they work via contracts with companies. So they're not as happy to give you jobs as they would be. They have to, but it's not like before where the more people they hired, the more paychecks they could steal from. I approach the spot where the concrete opens up slightly to reveal dirt. We spoke of the place below before the town went to shit, before everything grew quiet. I move over to the edge and sit down. A burden. I felt like a burden for a long time, I'm afraid. I felt like I've not been able to put out what I could to the world. Lemma. Lemma had been having similar thoughts before Z made the journey. Z used to make music, but Z never really had much of an audience. Z wanted to have a purpose in life, but felt their music would never have any value to society. Since then, I've not been out much. I still message them sometimes, hoping Ze'll respond. Zale? Respond? But Z never does. I miss Zem, but I feel like I was always a really shitty friend. I rarely even listened to their music until after Z had disappeared. That is a sign of being not a good friend. But the factory has grown warmer from what Z's done. It grew warmer whenever someone made the journey. Descend. As I descend into the depths of the twisted place, I see the air inside is damp and warm, but much of it resembles the factory above. Melted, distorted, but an impressive facsimile nonetheless. This place has always predated the factory, but it has adopted much of its form. It may likely remain still even once the factory is entirely gone. So we can wander or explore, which I could argue that they're different. Wandering means you're kind of just like taking it in, right? Exploring is like you're going in with a goal. And I mean, if we're here, we're going in with a goal, so we're exploring. I explore the warm underground, not knowing exactly which way to go. I go forward, even as I am not entirely sure where forward is. What is this, a labyrinth? I thought it was a factory. This way. I choose a path at random, continuing onward as directionless as my life has always been. Please stop doing this to yourself. At this point, your toxicity is contained. It seems to be affecting you the most. The walls. The walls appear to undulate, and a fetid air passes through the hallway. But at least I can be sure of the way now. Hold on, I'm dumb. I don't know things. Smelling extremely unpleasant. Now we're both smarter. Attempted. I generally say I've attempted suicide multiple times, diagnosed with suicidal ideation. But does that really mean I can be definitely 100% sure I wanted to die? No, that's not what that means. I'll save my thoughts. How can I tell, or why do I want to die? I think the more important thing to figure out is why you want to die. The first attempt I was hospitalized for is something I can't really remember. Probably had something to do with isolation and a breakup a month prior, but since then, it's felt like that door has always been opened, and that if I don't go through, it proves that I don't have enough conviction. Okay, I was gonna wait, but now I can't. If you're this person who feels that way, you're the only one that feels that way. No one on planet Earth, as long as they're a good person, believes that if you don't go through with it, you don't have conviction. It actually takes more conviction to not do it, in my opinion. So, yeah. MC here, a little confused. But I understand. We've all been there, I think. The alternative or the out? The alternative, sir. The alternative would be that I was just doing it for attention. That scares me so much because it would mean I was lying to people I care about and co-opting the pain of those who were actually true with their convictions, actually went through with it and succeeded. Okay, also wrong. No good person on planet Earth would see you go through an attempt, fail the attempt, and then say, oh, they were just doing it for attention. Literally everyone who would say that is a piece of garbage. Okay, so please do not, if these are your thoughts, consider who the people you're thinking about are that would agree with these things. Because I doubt you would agree with it if someone asked you. So go with that heart feeling, not with what some garbage people have to say. The knot. The only way to cut that Gordian knot, to be sure that I'd meant it, would be to die. But then, would my life just be a complete waste? Would I continue to hurt people in death? There's only one way I can fix this, to try and make up for all the hurt I've caused. Step forward. Am I in a dungeon crawler? The corridor opens up to a massive chamber, looking over some intricate pipework below. With no bottom inside, this is the mouth. The deep. I didn't intend to feed myself to the deep. At first, none of us did. Not fully, anyway, but over time, it started to feel like the only way I could have any worth. The town has grown quiet, but it hungers still. The only way, and I've come this far. Both of these are things I don't like. The only way I could ever have a use is to let my useless flesh get consumed by the deep, consumed by a higher purpose, to heat up the infernal factory for a purpose I will never comprehend. Leap. I leap off the edge, plummeting as I embrace the fact that I will be used to fuel this creature, this infernal factory. I will finally have a purpose, even if it destroys my flesh completely. Down. I will finally have meaning. The twisted place. The twisted place grows warmer. End. Ooh, okay. So, little thoughts from the author here, created by Rana Strange? With this game, I wanted to explore thoughts, feelings I'd been going through, about the urge to feel productive, and worries about even my own suicidality not being genuine enough. They're fucked up, and I hope the reader can identify how and why they're fucked up. I've struggled a lot with justifying my own existence to myself, and I've never even had employment at all before. I know deep down that I shouldn't need to justify my own existence, of course, but I feel still that I don't put out as much stuff as I could, and that my own creative works aren't good enough to offset my lack of productivity. That feeling is what the deep and the twisted place is supposed to represent. That need to have a purpose and to do everything you can to be productive in order to justify yourself, even at the expense of your physical and mental well-being. I did ponder on giving a possible good ending, but I felt this would undermine the meaning of the ending after all. If it's a choice given to the player, most people would just choose not to kill the player character unless they were especially curious. The photos used in the game were taken at a local factory called Bradmill. I wanted to fictionalize the setting, though, in order to separate the characters from myself. I see. There's really there's not much to, I guess, what's the term? Starts with an I. Interpret. It's all just there. So I'm not, I don't think I'll waste your time with what I think the story is about, right? Because it's right there. And I understand where the author is coming from here. Even myself, sometimes, like especially within the last week, I didn't upload for a week because I was like, man, I just don't know if the videos that I'll put out are any good because I'm not sure that I can provide the standard that I know I can provide on any of these videos because the games that I'll be playing don't necessarily carry themselves. And going into every video like that is absolutely a bad thing, right? But you can't help it. Anybody who's ever made anything knows sometimes you just can't help not being able to do something the way you want to. Obviously, there is a correct way and a wrong way to handle it. The correct way is to buckle down and just do your best. That's always the best thing you could do. Because the alternative is not doing anything. And not doing anything is the easiest way to accomplish nothing, right? So, in regards to the suicidal ideation, all I can really say is that I hope the best for Rana Strange and that they are able to get out of this slump, though I'm sure they will, because you made something like this. And I think this was fun. This is probably funner than anything on Itch.io's front page. Jeez. In the horror category, I should say. There's a lot of fun arcade games, but that's not really this channel's thing, is it? I think you'll be fine, Rana Strange. I think we'll all fall into place, as they say. And even if we don't, at least I got to play your stuff, right? And at least you get to watch this video, because what's the alternative? Not watching this video, not playing this game, not subscribing to this channel, or following this creator that obviously has things to say that deserve to be heard. And much thanks to the Grandmaster. Where is he? Must find. Oh, this is his website. Much thanks to the Grandmaster, whose name I've yet to figure out how to pronounce. I'll put a link to his itch.io page and also his website, because I think he deserves it. He's a great guy. I've actually never asked. I'm a terrible friend. Much like the character in the game we just played. See, figured it out. I want to say it's pronounced Sjoerd. Sjoerd is in active development of his latest game, Sleepover Rules. Besides creating this interactive text-based horror game, he also likes to read. His biggest dream is to create a community in which people can discuss horror based on rules and give them a safe space to enjoy what they share in common. Hey, Rana Strange, maybe you should check out that community. Just a suggestion. Also for anybody who's interested in that stuff. Which I am. You can also find me there. To steal ideas. To find out about games I can make content off of because I'm an evil YouTuber. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.